yet another declutter for you. I've been trying to go through and get my collection a little bit more manageable. I'm running out of space and I don't like things to be too cluttered. And you know, there's just some things that I feel like I could still let go of. I really just want to have things that I really enjoy. And I found some fragrances in my collection that I felt like I really probably wasn't going to reach for. You know, there's always something that I would probably pick before these. So I'm just gonna go through, show you what I'm going to declutter and just explain why. I probably won't go too much into like notes or the perfumers or things like that because I really didn't like prep anything for this. I just grabbed all of the things that I've decided to let go of, set them here in front of me. It's a lot. And I'm just gonna go through one by one and show you what we have. Before I get started, if you love declutters, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. I certainly do. I love watching declutters. I know that I need to quit buying so much, that way I don't have to constantly declutter. But if you do enjoy this type of video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. So first up, I'm going to begin with my decants and travel sprays that I'm decluttering. And the first one here is the Parfums de Marly La Rosée, and that's just because I already reviewed this or I talked about it in a recent video about new releases. And this one is a really pretty watery rose. It still has sort of that Delina quality to it, but I have Delina in a travel spray, I have Delina Exclusive in a full bottle, and I have several other watery rose fragrances. So I just don't also need this, and I'm sure somebody would really like to try it. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one. And then this one, oof. This is from Bortnikoff, which is a very expensive niche house. This is called Sayat Nova, and I thought I would like this one, and I hate it. It smells very fecal to me. It was an immediate, like, no, like big no. So I know I'm really selling that for anybody who might be interested in trying this. Maybe for people who like really animalic types of fragrances, they would like this, but I just thought based on the note profile that I would enjoy this a lot more than I did. Okay, I have a few more little ones before we get into the full bottles. First up, we have Jasmine Sambac and Marigold from Jo Malone. I don't really typically care for either of those notes, and guess what? I don't care for them together in this fragrance. Then there's Pomegranate Noir. This one wasn't bad, but it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't particularly love it. And maybe of the Jo Malones that I've smelled, this one leans a slightly more masculine than most. Most I feel like are fairly unisex. This one maybe leans a little bit more masculine. I suppose some are kind of feminine. Anyway, that's besides the point. Didn't care for either of those. I have Tom Ford Vanille Fatale. I love this fragrance, but I got a full bottle. So of course I can let go of the decant now and let someone else try that. Then I have, oh yeah, this is Mugler's Womanity. It's like salty fig caviar thing. Smells like salty fig caviar. I don't think it smells like fish, but I don't like it. I got this because I tried, or I used to have the Womanity Eau Pour Els, which I think is like sort of similar, but with strawberry. And I thought maybe I'd like this one more than that one. And I decluttered that quite some time ago, but I actually think I like the Eau Pour Els version better than just the regular Womanity. Oh, then I have one that will disappoint Lizzie from Rose & Jones. This is Christian Dior's Oud Rosewood. It's from their high-end line. I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to really want to try it again. So this is a decant I got from Royalty Scents. You know, no big deal, but she loves it and I just don't. So it's unusual though. We have fairly similar taste. Anyway, and then the last one is Kajal Jory. Don't really remember what this one smells like. Let me smell it again real quick. I just remember that it was like okay. And I did wear this one I think a couple times. Oh, it's pretty dark. Oh, it's not bad. It's like a little bit sweet, a little bit floral. Anyway, not really for me, but yeah, so that's Kajal Jory. All right, now we're getting into the full bottles, and I think some of these won't be too much of a surprise. Some of them will be very shocking for you guys. But let's start with one that I shouldn't have ever bought again. This is Tommy Girl, and I bought it for nostalgia reasons. I decluttered this once before, and then I don't even need to spray it. I've worn this, or I used to wear it when I was in middle school, you know, like in the early mid-90s. And it, you know, I wanted to smell it again. I don't know why. And it was on clearance. It was like 12 bucks. And I thought, oh yeah, I want to get that. I don't wear it. I don't wear it. I don't need this. I'm sure if I ever want to smell it, I can find a tester somewhere and smell it. Or I can decant a little bit, which is what I did before, but then I decided I needed a bottle even though I didn't wear my decant ever. So Moral of the story is don't buy things just for nostalgia reasons if you're not actually going to wear it. At least that's what I should do. So that's Tommy Girl, and that's gonna go. There's also this one here. God, this bottle is freaking beautiful. Look at this. So this is from Panah, London, and that bottle is just absolutely stunning. This is called Serious Rose, and it's sort of, I think it's like a rose patchouli fragrance. I don't remember the notes in it. I thought that I would grow to enjoy this more than I have. I didn't really love it at first. It was a blind buy, but I thought, you know what? Let me try it again. I'll wear it some more, but it's just not something I realized that I'll reach for. I do like it more after wearing it and giving it, you know, a few tries. I do like it more than I did at first, but yeah, it's just not something that I would reach for. Like out of the 100 and bajillion, I don't know, fragrances that I have, it's not really 100 bajillion, but out of all the fragrances that I have, I will always pick a different rose one over this. Another rose fragrance that I'm getting rid of is this Paul Smith rose. I think this is a great scent, especially at the price point. It's a very affordable fragrance. This is just, I think, a little 30 ml, yeah. But I've just decided that I do have quite a few rose fragrances, and I have several sort of watery rose fragrances, which is kind of the vein that I would put this one in. And I just, you know, it's not my favorite of those. I really probably only need one watery kind of rose fragrance, although I do really like this one. So this one I definitely enjoy, and it's stayed in my collection for a little bit now, but it just seems redundant, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that one go. And another one that's a little bit redundant for me because I have a lot of iris fragrances is this one from Atelier Cologne. This one's called Silver Iris. I really like it, and it is my favorite of the two iris scents that they have, or at least that I've tried from them. But it's just, again, not my favorite iris fragrance that I have, and so I'm gonna pass it on because I have probably 3, 4, 5 other iris fragrances that I would reach for before this one. Next up we have one from Lush, and this is called I'm Home. This is a discontinued fragrance, so now it's kind of harder to find, and I have used quite a bit, and I think I decanted a little bit. So this one I do like, and the ones that I have left from Lush I do quite like a lot because I have decluttered some from them already, but it's kind of in the same vein as Rentless to me, and I will always pick Rentless over I'm Home, and I think that's kind of the issue here. So this one is like, I don't remember all the notes, but there's like vanilla, cacao, I think there's like maybe some benzoin. But anyway, that's I'm Home, has great longevity. It performs really well. And it would be really nice in the wintertime. Like that's the main time I would wear this. It is kind of meant to give you that cozy being home feeling. So that one's going to go as well. Next, let me talk about a few catch and releases. So these are ones that were, in most cases, blind buys. And this first one, actually, I did test it on paper at the store, but never on skin. So still sort of a blind buy. But these are all ones that basically, as soon as I was like, okay, I have to get rid of this. So the first one up that I did test on paper, but then when I tried it on skin did not work, is Tom Ford's Sol di Positano? Oh my God, that was awful. I think that means pistachio. I don't know for sure. I think so. Anyway, let me show you the bottle because it's freaking gorgeous. The issue I have with this is, so it's a white floral, and I thought I was okay because when I smelled it on paper, it had a lot more citrus to me than the white florals really. But then on skin, I still got that in the opening, but the dry down became very much white floral. Look at this, so beautiful. But the dry down became very much a white floral fragrance, and it gave me a headache, unfortunately. And for those of you who've watched my channel for a while, you know that oftentimes white florals will do that to me. So that really sucks because I did like the opening a lot, but again, that just is another lesson learned. Like, not only do I need to test fragrances before I buy them, but I need to test them on skin with like a full wearing so that I can make sure that I like all aspects of the fragrance and not just the opening. And then I have one that I won in a giveaway. This is from Imaginary Authors, and it's called Decisions, and there you can see it. This one, I can read you the notes. It says tuberose, sarsaparilla, and sweet suspense. There's probably more than that. Yes, here we go. There's also geranium, labdanum, jasmine, sambac, raspberry, and that's it. So everything I said there. As you probably know, I'm not huge on tuberose, so that's part of the reason why I'm letting this go. And then I'm not sure what else is in here that I don't, oh, geranium. That's the other one that I remember I don't really care for. But like I said, I won it in a giveaway, and this is what, you know, one of my prizes was, so it wasn't like I spent money on or anything. But yeah, it just didn't work for me. So that's too bad, but I do like a lot of other imaginary authors' fragrances. The last catch and release was this one from Prada. It's called Dark Light. I have several from this particular lineup from Prada. It's like their high-end olfactories line, it's called. And they're really great fragrances. But this one is an amber fragrance, which I shouldn't have blind bought because I'm iffy on ambers in general. It's nice. It is a really nice amber. If you are into amber fragrances, you'd probably really like it. But it's just for me, I mostly go for like the little bit sweeter powdery ambers, and that's not really what this is. It's maybe the touch powdery, but not as powdery as I need it to be for an amber fragrance. So that's gonna go, again, it's called Dark Light. Really nice. Look at that bottle. It's stunning. Yeah, so anyway, great lineup from Prada. Just this particular one didn't work. Next, I have one that is a unicorn for many people. It is Gucci Eau de Parfum. This is, you know, a long discontinued fragrance. This is a very old bottle, and you can see I haven't used very much of it. It's only 30 mils, and it smells nice, but I just, again, it's one of those that I think I kind of wanted for nostalgia reasons, and then I was just kind of like, I'm not gonna wear this. Like, I'm just not. There are so many other things that I enjoy more, even though I like this, that it doesn't make sense for me to keep it. And like I said, it's kind of a unicorn for many people. It's harder to find, so I'm sure somebody will be happy to have this. Next, I have a star from Thierry Mugler. This is the Angel Au Croisier 2020. So this is the one that smells like fig. I don't remember all the notes that are in here. This is a 50 ml, but it does come with a little stand, which is very convenient because I hate the stars that you can only lay down, which would be like that if I didn't have the little stand here. But anyway, so this one has a fig note. It is sort of like a you know, summer kind of fragrance. It still has that angel vibe to it though, which, you know, I guess if you're a fan of Angel, you would want. Angel has grown on me over the years, but I'm still more of an alien girl than I am an Angel girl. But yeah, this is a really nice fragrance. Like, I like it. I tested it in store, tested it at Ulta, and I thought, wow, I like this. So I grabbed a tester bottle for less than what Ulta was selling it for, of course. And yeah, it's sort of like a creamy fig combo with the original Angel DNA. Quite nice. I think a lot of people would enjoy this. And again, the bottle, gorgeous. A lot of pretty bottles today. Speaking of beautiful bottles, let's look at one of the most beautiful that I think I've ever had in my collection. This is from Atelier de Source, and it is Blanc Polychrome. This is the prettiest of all the bottles they've done. And I think the main difference is that the lid is gold, but it matches the gold flakes and the gold label here. I wish that they would do their fragrances in this particular packaging from now on. It's stunning. This is a great sort of citrusy kind of fragrance, maybe a slight touch of florals in here. Again, I don't really remember all the notes and everything, but this would be great for summertime. However, I also have Shore d'Ange from them, and that one reminds me of like an orange, like a sort of like a cocktail. This one I like, but I love Shore d'Ange, and I would always reach for that over this one. So Blanc Polychrome is going to go. All right, moving on. Next up, I have one from Zara. This is a sweet pastry in Paris. I think they discontinued this, and I don't know why, because it's had to have been one of their most popular fragrances. This is very lemony, but I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I know people love this one. I've tried it several times and I don't love it. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. So that's going to go. And again, because it's discontinued, I'm sure somebody who enjoys this will be happy to have another bottle of it. Ooh, and now we have one from Initio. This is in fact the very last Initio that I have. So now I have sold or decluttered all of my Initios, and I think I've owned 4 or 5 at some point. There's something about the DNA of this house that I just don't love. They are very beast mode, but perhaps it's that. There's something in there though that kind of has this, they don't smell like Montal fragrances, but it's kind of reminds me of sort of how like Montal or Tiziana Terenzi, those types of fragrances, they have this very powerful underlying DNA to them that is just like, it's too much for me. I get tired of them. So a lot of the Initios I really like the smell of, but I just get tired of them really fast. This one I've hung on to the longest because I enjoy it the most. Oh, by the way, this is called Rehab. I never said it, but Rehab I enjoyed the most out of all of them. But it smells a lot like Spice Bomb Extreme, which I own. And so I figured I'd just keep the Spice Bomb and sell this one because I'll get more money for this one. This is a tester bottle and it says the notes are bergamot, lavender, cedarwood, patchouli, sandalwood, hedione, and musks. So that's the last Initio. It's gonna go. I'm also going to get rid of yet another Maison Lancôme fragrance. This one is Parfait Roses. I sold my Roses Barbranza quite some time ago. I also more recently sold my Patchouli Aromatique and Oud Bouquet. So I've been kind of letting go of several of these. I used to have a really large collection of them and now I'm down to I think 4, which is still quite a few. But yeah, this is just, you know, it's a sweet rose. And it's just a little too sweet for me, I think is the issue with this one. So it's not jammy rose. It's more like a candied rose, I would call it. But if you do like rose fragrances and you like sweeter fragrances, you might really like Parfait Roses. And of course, again, the bottle, stunning. Here's another beautiful bottle. This one is from Ormonde Jayne and it's Toulouse. This is, you know, a Toulouse balsam fragrance and it's really nice, but I just don't wear it. I just don't wear it. I still have, what's it called? Vanita Iris from them. All the fragrances from Ormonde Jayne are really nicely blended. They're very sophisticated. They're softer scents, like they're not super loud or anything. And I just think that they're really nice, high quality fragrances, but I don't reach for this one. I do wear the other one, but this one I don't typically reach for. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. Here's another one I really enjoy but don't really wear. It's from Valentino and it is the, what's it called? Valentina Mur Assoluto. And I do think it's probably the best flanker of Valentina. But I just don't reach for it. So obviously this one features myrrh as kind of the main thing with this flanker. It's a 2.7 fluid ounce and I think it is a little bit harder to find now, but yeah, somebody else will benefit from this more than I will. Then we have 2 of the exact same fragrance. This is called Cheat Day. It's from Ganache Parfums. The reason why I have 2 is because he accidentally sent me 2 of the same when I placed an order. So he sent me the correct one, but said I could keep the original like extra. This one, I don't remember which one I've sprayed. Anyway, I like this fragrance. Yeah, this is the one I sprayed. So I like this fragrance, but it's just a little bit too sweet for me. It's called Cheat Day because it's like, you know, supposed to evoke a lot of like sweets and candies and junk food things that you would eat on a cheat day, if you will. But it's just a little bit too sweet for me. So I have 2 others from Ganache Parfums. One's called Ugly Holiday Sweater, which I do like. It reminds me of the holidays. And the other one is their Chocolate Ganache, which is a really great chocolate fragrance, but Cheat Day just didn't quite work out for me. This next one, I think I have maybe included in a declutter video before, but I can't remember, so I figured I'd just throw it in here. It's from Ideo Parfumers, and it's called Malika's Temptation. This is actually a really nice fragrance. It has an insanely high rating on Fragrantica. It's like, I think there's like a touch of patchouli, some musk, some oud, but then there's like praline and some florals, so it's sort of like a little bit gourmand, a little bit floral, a little bit woody. It's a really nice fragrance. It kind of goes a little bit powdery on me though, maybe more so than I want, because I do like a little bit of powder in like amber fragrances. And like I said, this is not super powdery, but it does go a bit more in that direction than I would want based on the particular profile of this fragrance. So, you know, great niche offering, but just didn't work out for me. And then the last 2 I want to talk about before I get to the 2 that I think will be most shocking for you are 2 from Robert Graham. And this entire line is completely discontinued. Robert Graham quit making fragrances. So these are now fairly hard to find, I think, or they're getting fairly hard to find. I'm sure there's still plenty out there because it was only recently discontinued. But anyway, I have Valor and Fortitude. And I like these both. One of them is a coffee fragrance and the other is a tobacco fragrance, both of which I really enjoy. And I do really like these. The thing is, they both also have sort of that slightly traditional masculine leaning lavender kind of thing going on with them, that makes it smells good. I really like both of these. Like I said, I really like the way these smell. I just, when I wore them, I felt like maybe it leaned slightly more masculine than I wanted. If you're a dude though, and you find these smell really good. So again, that's Robert Graham Fortitude and Valor. And they're both great. Which one do I like more? I think maybe I like Fortitude slightly more, but they're both really nice. So yeah. Maybe I won't declutter those. This is not good. I should not be like saying, oh, just kidding, I'm gonna keep these, but those are really nice. So I don't know, I might try them one more time each on skin just to make sure that they really are more masculine than I want to wear. But again, if you're a dude, these smell great. All right, and now we're down to the last two, and I think these two will be fairly surprising. The first one up is my one and only Fragrance Dubois fragrance. So here it is in the little velvet box. And it comes with, you know, the little piece of oud and whatnot, but it is Oud Orange Intense. This is definitely one of my favorites that I've smelled from them. Gosh, it's gonna be hard to get out now. But I just don't wear it. I don't wear it. So this is one of the 15 mils, and you can see it says Eau de Parfum still. So this is before they did all the rebranding and potentially reformulating, although they said that they didn't. So I don't know if that's true. But either way, this is an older bottle. Smells great. Really like that one. I did a whole video on Fragrance Dubois samples, and I did smell this one, so I can link that for you if you are curious. But I literally have worn this once the whole time I've had it, and it just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to have something this expensive just sitting there doing nothing. So I'm going to sell this in its little pretty packaging, and someone else can actually wear it and get some use out of it, because it should be worn and not just looked at. So anyway, that's the first big surprise. And then the other really big surprise is this one here. It's from Guerlain, and it's called Spiritus du Bleu Vanille. Okay, I couldn't even hold a straight face. I'm just kidding. I'm not getting rid of Spiritus du Bleu Vanille. This one's Tonka Imperial. I bet some of you just soiled your pants because you were like, no way she's getting rid of Spiritus du Bleu Vanille. No, there's no way I would ever get rid of that. It's one of my favorite fragrances ever. Tonka Imperial though, I really, really love. I do love it. I go back and forth. Oh, it smells so good. I go back and forth as to whether I prefer this or Fève Délicieuse. And I think I kind of prefer this one, but I just have that huge bottle of Fève that I wear to bed regularly, and I kind of, it's like, it's probably half gone at this point, as is this. But I don't know. I feel like I don't reach for this as much. I just don't need it. They smell fairly similar. This one is a little bit, I think, more like smooth. It's like maybe blended a little bit better, and it's softer. But yeah, out of my 4 Guerlains from this particular art and materials collection, this is the one I reach for the least. I still, of course, have Spiritus du Bleu Vanille because it's my favorite. Also Angelique Noir, one of my favorites. And then Cuir Beluga is the other one that I own from this collection. And I can't foresee myself getting rid of any of those, especially not the first two, SDV and Angelique Noir. But yeah, this one I don't think I need, since I do have the Fève and it'll probably last me a long time. And I just need the space. And so having redundant fragrances just isn't going to work at this point. So bye Tonka Imperial. I'm sure somebody will love you very much. All right, so that's everything I am decluttering this round. I hope that I do not have another declutter for you very soon. I hope it's quite a while before I have another for you, because it's just kind of getting absurd that I'm decluttering things just to bring in more. Like, that's not good. And this time I wasn't really decluttering for that purpose entirely. You can see a lot of it was like redundancy or some things that just didn't work out for one reason or the other. But a lot of it was for space needs. Like, I don't like my shelving to look cluttered. I like things to be spaced out and look nice. And also I have a giant storage cabinet. Like, it's really big storage cabinet. I can fit hundreds, well, like I can fit 175-ish bottles in there and have it look really nice. And that's still an insanely large collection. I know some people have much larger collections, and if that's what they want, that's fine. And if you have much smaller and that's what you want, that's fine too. But for me, like, I'm not going to expand beyond this cabinet. Could I? Yeah, sure, I have space. I could add more cabinets. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. It's just overwhelming for me to have more than that. So yeah, this is probably a topic for another video, another time, but I will say that I am going to try to be very mindful about my buying decisions from this point forward. And really focus on the things that I love and make sure I sample first. I hope you all liked this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Again, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.